Hello everyone, today in this video we will be discussing the gold and halwa topics for AIPGT 2025. Now those of you who don't know, I make this gold and halwa topics video every year basically these are my recommendations for your upcoming AIPGT exam based on the previous AIPGT paper analysis. What were the topics that got asked, what were the questions that got asked right from AIPGT 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and now 24. So based on the analysis of all these previous AIPGT papers, I usually recommend what are the important topics that you should be focusing, at least you should be focusing for AIPGT 2025. Now a small disclaimer, these are my recommendations. Okay, but remember, the more topics you are leaving out, the more risk you are taking. And usually I upload this gold and halwa topics 3 months, 4 months before the exam. But this year I am making this gold and halwa topics way in advance. So I will be including more topics in my recommendation list so that your preparation gets stronger. Now coming back, gold and halwa topics. Now what are gold topics? Gold topics are those topics from where every year questions are asked, irrespective. For example, in pathology, the gold is general pathology. General patho portion is gold because every year you will find whether question asked from anywhere else or not, but from general pathology you will find question. So that is gold for pathology. Similarly, halwa topics are those topics which are very easy, that you can complete it in 3 to 4 days. Those are very easy and it can be completed, and by the way, these are also very scoring topics. So these are the meanings of gold and halwa topics. Now in your practice of medicine, the gold topics that I have written down over here are nervous system, musculoskeletal system, urinary system. Every year, right from 2019 AIPGT, you will find questions from nervous system, you will find questions from musculoskeletal system, you will find questions from urinary system. And apart from, so these are the basic things, these are the topics that you have to study. And on top of that, there are few recommendations from my side. For example, study CVS. Okay, because in 19 there was question from CVS, 20, 21, 22, 23 there was question from CVS, but in 2024 there was no question from CVS. Okay, so CVS is a pretty important topic for AIPGT in practice of medicine. Only in AIPGT 2024 there was no question from CVS, but for 2025 it is highly recommended. Okay, so give it 3 stars. CVS is very important. Similarly, respiratory system also. Respi also in 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23 there were questions, but in 2024 there was no question from Respi. So again, Respi is also 3 star for 2025. Also study the liver and biliary disease. Another important topic is your blood. Okay, in 2024 there was question from blood. Previous year 2023 there was no question from blood, but in 2025 you should not leave out blood. That is very important topic. Next is your diabetes. Diabetes, 2024 there were no questions, but 21 you will find question from diabetes, 22 you will find questions from diabetes, 23 you will find questions from diabetes. So for 2025, diabetes is another important topic. Next, 2 systems that if you want to leave, then you can leave out these 2 systems. One is your endocrine system, and the second one is your GIT. These 2 systems, if you want, you can leave these systems out. But again I am saying, the more topics, the more chapters, the more systems you are leaving out, the more risk you are taking. This is your last resolute, that the time is over, the exam is about to happen and you couldn't complete the subject. So the topics that you can leave is endocrine and GIT. Okay, so this was your practice of medicine. Next, coming to anatomy. Anatomy, I will tell you first 2 things that you can leave. One is your thorax, and the other topic is your general anatomy. Okay, these two topics you can think of leaving. Apart from these, the important topics that you need to study are the upper limb, lower limb. Next is your abdomen, very important. Abdomen is double star, and head and neck. Okay, because questions do get asked first from these four topics: upper limb, lower limb, abdomen, and head and neck. Okay, so that was your anatomy. Next is your physiology. In physiology, two systems that the gold I have written respiratory system, but let me first tell you the two systems that you can think of leaving this year for AIPGD 2025. Those are excretory and nervous system. Excretory and nervous system. These two systems you can think of leaving them out. Apart from that, gold is respiratory, which is like every year questions are asked 22, 23, 24, 19, and my recommendations: study blood. Important for 2025. From blood, there was question in 19, there was question in 20, 21, 22. In 23, there were no questions. 24 also no questions. So for 2025, blood is very important. Next important is your CBS. CBS, give it double star, because 2024 there was no question, 2023 also no question, but before that every year questions were asked from CBS. Okay, so CBS is pretty important for physiology. Next after that, FMT. FMT, if you see AIPGD 2024 question paper, if you go through that question paper, there were in total 6 questions from FMT. Out of these 6 questions, 5 questions were from toxicology. So you see, toxicology in FMT is the most important portion that in FMT is a very small subject. Okay, you can complete entire FMT within 1 to 2 weeks. It won't take much time. Like the entire FMT can be completed in around 700 to 800 MCQs. So FMT, I would recommend, do not leave out a single topic, a single chapter, but put more focus on toxicology, because toxicology is the most important topic recently that is getting picked in AIPGT papers. Apart from that, I would recommend in FMT, go through the chapter of death. Next, after FMT, we have gynecology. Acha, one more thing. Before going further, let me tell you one thing, that all of you who are preparing for AIPGD 2025 and if you are serious, go through the AIPGD 2024 paper, each and every question. Go through the questions and analyze the paper. How are you going to analyze? Say for example, I'll give you a very small example from the paper itself. From Materia Medica, in AIPGD 2024, there was a question that all of the following medicines belong to composite family except. So there were 4 options, and out of these 4 options, 3 medicines that were given belonged to composite family. One of the options, which was Ledam-Pal, belonged to Ericaceae family. So that was the correct answer. And all other options, I think there was Millefolium was there, Arnica montana was there. All of these medicines belong to composite family. Now, what I want all of you to do when you are analyzing, you read all the medicines that belongs to composite family and also go through all of the medicines that belongs to Ericaceae family. Okay, because in AIPGD 2025 you may not get asked this same question, but you may get asked which of the following medicines belong to Ericaceae family. Okay, so that is how you are going to analyze this AIPGD 2024 paper question by question. Go through the correct answer, go through all the options. That if you knew the answer, then fine. If you did not know the answer, why you did not know the answer? Whether you had studied and forgotten the topic, whether you completely were unaware of the topic. So go back and study the topic. Go back and go through the options. That 4 options are there. One option is correct. I have understood. I have read the topic. I know that this is the correct answer. This is the correct option. But in other 3 options, why these 3 options were incorrect? First of all, that you need to analyze. Second thing that you need to understand, in what other condition any of these 3 options will be correct. Okay, like take this simple example that sole aim of the physician is mentioned in which aphorism. Options given are aphorism 17, aphorism 1, aphorism 26, aphorism, any other aphorism. Okay. Now the correct answer that the sole aim of the physician is mentioned in aphorism 17, but you also need to go through aphorism 1. From there you need to study that mission of the physician is given in aphorism 1. In aphorism 26, the basic law of cure has been mentioned. Okay, so that is how you are gonna analyze each and every question of AIPGD 2024 if you want to prepare properly for AIPGD 2025. Now this analysis, if you do, it will take your time. It will take weeks or even 1 month or 1.5 months of your time. Okay, so either you can do that, or I have already done this in this course. This is a 4.5 hours course. You need to go to this website, which is ptba.in. From there you will find this AIPGD 2024 analysis. Okay, you can go through the descriptions, the description of this course, what basically you will learn. And here you can find a preview video also. If you are interested, you can go through the preview video also. But the important portion are these portions, the homeopathy subjects, all these homeopathy subjects that were asked in the AIPG 2024. Each and every question has been analyzed. The allied subjects, the Gynae FMT, all the questions of the previous AIPG 2024 paper has been analyzed and compiled in this 4.5 hours video. Okay, so you can simply go here. You need to just press this buy now, and if you already have an account, then fine. If you don't have, then just sign up for an account, create an account, and then buy this. So this is a 4.5 hours course that I have. Not only me and a few other dedicated persons have dedicatedly worked for the past 2 months and have made this 4.5 hours video. So if you are preparing for 2025, do check this course. Now coming back to our topic, which was gynecology. So the gold topic in gynecology, two are very important. One is your menstruation and infertility and contraception. Very important. Okay, and there are few other topics also that I would recommend. Go through the benign lesions. Benign lesions of the female genital tract, that chapter, and also the malignant lesions. Okay, in 2022 there were questions, in 2023 there was question from benign lesion, but 2024 there was no question. So in 2025 you can expect question from benign lesions. Next, after gynecology, community medicine, two very important gold topics: environment, communicable disease. Every year you will find questions from environment and communicable disease. Also, few recommendations from my side. Go through this chapter, nutrition. In the past, in 2022, 2023, 2024, there was no question from this topic, nutrition. But in 2025, don't leave out this topic. Next, environment, I have already told. Then this topic, recent advancements or public health schemes. Okay, so public health schemes. Also very important, vaccination. Give it double star. Okay, because vaccination is very important from community medicine. The topic that you can leave out is non-communicable disease. Okay, non-communicable disease. You can leave out this topic, because this is not very important for 2025. Next, after that, pathology. As I said, study general pathology. If bare minimum you want to study from patho, study general patho, which is like a 4-star. In 2024 there were 3 questions from pathology, and all of these 3 questions were from general patho. Next is your surgery. Important is abdomen, very important, gold. Another gold is your general surgery. Okay, there were questions from general surgery every year. Sometimes you will find questions from wound, sometimes you will find question from skin abnormalities, from burns, from shock. This year you will find question from pressure sore. Okay, and few recommended topics from my side would be: go through thyroid and parathyroid, thyroid and parathyroid, this chapter. Go through the chapter breasts, because this is very important from surgery. Last year there was no question, this year also there was no question, so 2025 can be questions from breasts. Next we have urinary system. Okay, so these are few recommendations from surgery, and the topic that you can neglect this year from surgery is pancreas. Okay, because pancreas, this topic has a tendency that 1 year question will be asked from pancreas, next year it won't be asked. Like for example, in 2022 there was a question from pancreas, in 2023 there were no questions from pancreas, in 2024 there were 2 questions from pancreas. Okay, so 2025 you can neglect this topic. Next, after that, coming to our homeopathy subjects, let me draw a line over here. So these are the homeopathy subjects. So first of all, pharmacy. Gold is acts related to pharmacy. Every year questions will get asked from the acts related to pharmacy. My recommendations are history and development of pharmacopoeia, very important, vehicles and scales of preparation of drugs, very important. The topics that you can neglect this AIPGD 2025 is methods of preparation, the old and new method. This you can think of neglecting. So methods of preparation, the old and new. So this chapter you can think of neglecting. Next, prescription also you can think of neglecting. Again, prescription also has this tendency that 1 year question will be asked, next year question will not be asked. So in 2024 question has been asked from prescription. The last time question was asked from prescription was in 2020. Okay, so 2025 I think that there won't be any questions from prescription, so you can neglect this. Next, coming to repertory. Now the gold I have written rubric hunting. If the only thing that you need to study from repertory, do rubric hunting, because rubric hunting, if you go through that course that I am saying, you see in this course there is let me just show you. Yeah, if you go through this topic, the question paper overview, in this I have shown what were the topics that got asked in repertory, how many questions got asked from rubric hunting, how many questions got asked from single medicine, from Kent repertory, from BTPB, from BBCR. Like I have done that analysis in that course very nicely. Just go through that course. If the only thing that you want to study from repertory, then study rubric hunting. And the most important repertory is Kent. First complete Kent, then complete BTPB, and then BBCR. Okay, there were more than around 10 questions. So basically in pharmacy, in repertory, in Organon, in Materia, Medica, basically in the homeopathy subjects, I'm not gonna tell you or ask you or recommend you to leave out much topics, because these 4 subjects, like in AIPG 2024 there were around 58 out of 120 questions, 58 questions were alone from just these 4 subjects. And among these 4 subjects, repertory, Organon and Materia, Medica alone 50 questions. Organon, repertory, Materia, Medica, these 3 subjects alone 50 questions were there. Okay, so that is the importance of repertory, Organon and Materia, Medica. I would never recommend you to leave out any topic. Okay, but in order of importance, study Kent first, BTPB, BBCR, and also the first thing that you need to do and repeatedly you need to revise is this rubric hunting, because most of the questions will be asked from rubric hunting. So that was your repertory. Next, coming to Organon of Medicine, the gold is aphorism 1 to aphorism 1 to 294, very important. I would not recommend you to leave out any aphorism. Chronic disease, every year you will find questions. Kent philosophy, every year you will find questions, whether from second prescription, from the philosophy, from observation, you will get questions from Kent philosophy. So these are the gold from Organon of Medicine, and my recommendation is for this 2025, go through Stuart Close and H.A. Robert philosophy also. And lastly, from Materia, Medica, I have not written down over here because this Materia, Medica I have already discussed very nicely in that AIP 2024 analysis course which I just showed on ptba.in. So go through that course. And Materia, Medica, first important is Allen's keynote. And out of these 18 questions, 10 were alone from Allen's keynote. Okay, 4 questions were from Borik's Materia Medica. Okay, so go through these subjects, go through these recommendations. Basically I have like covered most of the topics, most of the subjects, and since you already have 6 months, 8 months for preparation, I would not recommend you to leave out any topic. Study as much as possible. Also, if you want me to make and upload a 6 to 8 months study plan for AIPG 2025, do comment in the comment section of this video, and I'll think about uploading that video very soon. So this much from my side. I hope you like the video. I hope you go through all these recommendations and prepare nicely, and also go through that course that I've just mentioned about. See you in the next video.